Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Wealthy Monday. It's the start of a brand new week. And we're talking about from being stuck to being unstoppable. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm going to wait for y'all to jump in and join. I'm going to look over here for the comments just to make sure. Hang on a second. Remove. Yes, just to make sure everyone's here. All right, let's see. Let me jump into the comments. Let me know. All right, there we go. Hey, Lisa, good morning. All right, so this morning we're talking about going from being stuck because one of the things that I hear all the time is, Tasha, help. I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm procrastinating. I'm not taking action. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. I feel crappy about it. Help. So I wanted to have a conversation around that this morning. And I want to start with number one, please, my highest recommendation is consider refraining from affirming that you're stuck. When you say, I am stuck, you make it a truth and a fact for yourself. And anything that comes after I am is just, it's your truth. So even, you might be feeling that way, but by affirming it, you continue to make it true. So I would say, I feel stuck. I feel unclear. I feel uncertain. I feel like I'm seeking answers. Anything but affirming I am stuck. So that's number one. But I really want to have this conversation because I have a philosophy about when we find ourselves in a place on the journey that, my daughter would say, make it make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Or it's having you feeling overwhelmed or heavy weighted. And I always believe that understanding why it's happening, the solution is found in 80% of the solution is found when you become aware. Like, just understanding, why is this going on? Why am I in this place? I'm smarter than this. I'm wiser than this. I'm a harder worker than this. Like, this is not who I am. And being in this stuck space for this long is just, I know that feeling. So I want to shed some light and just help you to be aware. And I say that there are several reasons that this might be happening. We're going to look at the practical reason, the psychological reason, the strategic reason, and last but not least, the spiritual reason. So let's just talk about number one, practically. Why are you feeling stuck? Most times when I speak to women, especially high achievers, my people, I get us. When I talk to high achievers, honestly, what it is, it's not even so much that you're stuck as much as it is that you feel overwhelmed. You are in that space of, it's too much. I can't figure it out. I just want to stop and bury my head in the sand. And then the words that come out of your mouth is, I'm stuck. And so you are expressing, you're quantifying what's going on as feeling stuck or being stuck when really you're overwhelmed. And that's totally different. It's, you're trying to figure it out and it's too much. Can anybody relate to that? It's like there's so many things I say sometimes I have decision fatigue. There's so many things I got to decide, or I got to figure out what are the steps. I don't know what to do. And so if that's you, just super practical, what is the solution if you're in that place? Number one, my husband, I would never have imagined how much this could help. But last year I went through one of those stages where I just wanted to bury my head in the sand and be like, it's too much. I give up. I surrender. I can't do it. And Tony was like, what's going on? I'm like, look at my to-do list. It's literally 4 pages long. When I divide the page in half, it's 4 pages long, right? And he was like, okay, babe, we're going to sit down and we're going to create a priority list. I want you to go through your 4 pages, which is literally 17,000 things. And I only want you to identify the things that are A's. Right. And I resisted and I fought him. I'm like, no, everything needs to be done right now. And that's why I'm stuck. I'm overwhelmed. And so we literally just went through the list and we only identified A's. And even after I identified the A's, because the overachiever in me just made the list from 17,000 to 16,000 things were A's. And Tony was like, absolutely not. It is mission critical. That's the only way it gets labeled an A. And I literally brought it down to 6 things. And it's like, okay, so what is the deadline for these 6 things? And it was just, right? So just giving you some practical tips. Like, honestly, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you're trying to do too much and it's not realistic. And instead of being stuck and stopped, just create priorities. What is mission critical? It's an A, it must get done. And by when? By the end of this week, these 6 things must be completed. Saved my life. Then I went on to make things that were B's and C's and D's. And there's a whole process we'll talk about it another time, because truthfully, if something is a C or D on your list as a high achiever, you should not be doing it. Right? So that's a whole other conversation. The other part is get a mentor. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm calling it stuck, I'm having too many things to figure out. It's that thing where somebody outside of you and your brain, it's like there's a puzzle going on in your head and you're just like circulating on like a Ferris wheel, just going around and around and around all day, all night, trying to figure it out, but you can't see the forest for the trees. And a mentor will really help you to go, okay, listen, this is something that I love doing with my clients. I can see that you're trying to do a lot of things. Let me help you to sequence. It's not that they're all not important. It's just what comes first. Let's figure out what comes first and let's work on doing that. So somebody who can look at things from outside of you is always going to be amazing. The next thing that we want to do is look at the psychological reason why you're stuck. And this is going to be with love from Tasha, with love. Me, whenever I find myself in this place where I'm claiming I'm stuck and I can't move on, I'm not getting things done, I'm procrastinating, can I just be honest with you? And can you just be honest with me back? I'm in my victim identity. I'm in that, like, I literally have, I know it's victim. I just want to stay there and play small and complain and say I'm stuck. And then then I talk about it and I get sympathy. And, everybody understands you're just stuck, right? And it's like, no, you just want to be victim. You just want to play victim. And that's okay. But call it for what it is. You're not stuck. You're just in your victim identity. And I really want you to understand that when you do that, when I do that, this is a comfort zone for me and I have to really call myself out on it. I say all the time up front, I am an Academy Award winning victim player. Like, give me that role all day long. I know how to do it with my eyes shut. I can win awards. So I know that about myself. I have to call myself out when I see myself doing that. Like, this is BS, Tasha. You're just playing victim. You're trying to get attention. It literally is like a little kid. Lisa would say, you have to say to your little kid, like, look, here's a snack. Sit down. I got business to do. I got things to go do, right? We're not playing victim today. So call yourself out. Realize that truthfully, if that's a place that's a comfort zone for you, and I want to ask you, if you're stuck, how long have you been stuck? How long do you stay stuck when you're stuck? Like, it's not like at the end of the world if you say you're stuck, but if you're like, you've been stuck for 4 or 5 years, that's an issue. That is an identity. You have literally said, my name is Jane and I am stuck. That's who I am, right? That's the person I am. I'm the person that is stuck. I stay stuck. That's me. And I call my goddesses out on this all the time. I hear when they are affirming an identity and I just have to say, that's BS. Why are you claiming that? That's not who you are. Is that who you want to be? And then you get to choose. So that's like the psychological thing, is just recognizing that the opposite of when you're stuck, you're in your comfort zone. You know that place. The opposite of being stuck is unknown to you and it's scary. Like, oh my gosh, if I become unstoppable, then what? What does that look like? I've never been there. I don't spend a lot of time there. That's really scary for me. So recognize that, you're just staying in your comfort zone only because the opposite of it makes you feel afraid. And psychologically, that's just stuff you got to work on, right? Which identity do you want to choose? And if you're feeling safe in this place of being stuck for a long time, really ask yourself, this makes me feel safe. Like, I know this. Even though it doesn't serve me, I know it and it makes me feel safe. And then you have to ask yourself, but am I really safe though? Am I really safe in this pattern, in this place where I'm not moving forward? I'm not living my purpose. I'm not fulfilling my destiny. I'm not giving myself the life of my dreams, but I feel safe. Like, but is that true? Byron Katie says, but is it true? Am I really safe? You know? And then ultimately the solution is you get to sit down and create a new identity. You hear me talk about this all the time. We can talk about manifesting all day long, but if you are still playing victim, you are in victim identity and not manifester identity. And you're literally polar opposites of what you want. You are not a magnet to what you want because you're not being it. You're not in the energy of it. You're in the opposite energy. So um, that's when we talk about the psychological reasons why you might be stuck. Now let's talk about strategy. I'm a high achiever. I have, right, a business. I have, oh my gosh, at this point, a team of 13 or 14 people. But I remember the days when I would say I'm stuck because I was trying to do everything, me. I was trying to design the website, write the copy, write the emails, create the content, sell it, like fulfill it. I was trying to do everything. And strategically, that's impossible. If you are trying to do it all, of course you're going to feel stuck. That's overwhelming. It's just not humanly possible. That's going to make you freeze. And it's understandable, but it's not okay. Right? The solution is outsource. Find people who love to do the stuff that's not your zone of genius. They're amazing at it. They can do it with their eyes shut. They're not going to stay up at night trying to figure it out and worry about it because that's just their thing. Let them do it. Start to look at all the things. And this is where, when you prioritize your list, you look at the C's and the D's and you go, okay, I've got on here building out my funnel, or I've got on here, writing copy, or I've got on here, I need new images, or I need new photographs, or I need to do videos, or whatever. That's not my thing. Let me just find somebody that can help me do that and do it well. Just outsource it. Period. Start to find the things that you can outsource. One of the guys I follow on Instagram, I love it. He says, literally look at your calendar, and if it's not revenue producing, if it's not visionary, you should not be doing it. Right? You should not be doing it. So if you're trying to do all of it and you're not seeing the results, and then you're feeling frustrated because you're in freeze mode, then find the solution and just outsource it. All right. All right. So let's move on to talking about the spiritual reasons why you might be feeling that sense of stuck. And I'm just going to say this right now. You are not stuck. You're actually not stuck in your business. It's not that you don't know the next right step. It's not that you don't know. When people say, I feel stuck, I just don't know what next to do, that's not true. So you have to challenge that thought in your mind and literally just say, you're lying to yourself, right? To that, other version of you, like, you're lying. I'm not stuck. That's not true. You're not stuck in your business because you don't know what to do. I'm going to give you some spiritual reasons why actually you're not moving forward, or you're choosing not to move forward. And the biggest one that I see with my clients is that there is healing work to do and you haven't done it. You can't move into the version of you that has amassed incredible success, that's in momentum, that's doing all the stuff, if there is something that still needs to be healed and it's just not, it's cracked, right? There's a part of you that's just like, I don't like to say we're broken, but there's a part of you that is yearning for attention and love and to be made whole. And you have to give that the space, the time, and the processing that it needs. So start to look at what is calling for healing that's making me feel like I'm stuck. And sometimes I'm just going to tell you, for me, two big things that came up for me was deservingness. Like not doing the work around deserving success caused me to stay in my little victim pattern and convince myself that I don't know what to do, right? Just because truthfully, I hadn't yet done the work, the healing work to feel like I deserve success. The other one that needed healing was I had a pattern of suffering and feeling like for me it was always love or success, right? Love or money, love or success, and I hadn't healed that wound. And so of course, no, I'm not going to choose the things that would bring success because I want love. Period. We're wired for that, right? I want love. So until I did the healing, every time I got to that space where I was going to go to the next level, I would create something to make myself be stuck, right? So just look at, if you start asking these questions, you start journaling about it, what is there to be healed for me? Another big thing is you're not aligned to your purpose. You say it, you talk a good game, but you're not really committed to it. You're not. It's like you might be clear what that purpose is, but you're not all in. And when you're not all in, you're going to spend a long time being stuck. I'm not telling you I don't have days where I'm going to say my little victim Tasha comes out to play and I'll say things like I'm stuck or I'm frozen or I don't know what to do next. But that doesn't last long for me because I am so, me, as my husband would say, me, I am all in for my purpose. So you just have to ask yourself, like when I hear women saying this, I'm like, you're not, you talk a good game, but you're not all in. And you just get to call yourself out on that. Like if you're not all in, then be okay that you're not all in, but don't sit in the morass and like the quicksand of I'm stuck. That just feels so awful. You'd be better off just being like, you know what, I'm not there yet. And I'm not gonna I'm gonna go figure out why I'm not there, or I'm gonna really ask, is this really my purpose? Is this what I should be doing? But I'm not going to continue to stay here in this energy of, oh, I'm stuck or I'm frozen. Another thing is you I, let me say what I find is when I'm stuck is that those are the moments where I am not allowing the vision, my divine purpose, my divine design, the vision that has been imparted in my spirit to pull and carry me, right? The vision, Sir Michael Beckwith says, the vision pulls and the pain pushes. And so sometimes what happens when I'm stuck is I'm actually not just being, so committed to the vision and so committed to that spiritual beingness of this is my vision. I know why I'm here. I know what I'm here to do. I'm just gonna allow it to carry me. Like I'm just gonna sit on this magic carpet and just let this vision carry me. Instead, you stay in the pain, and the pain, it will push you, but my gosh, after so long, you're just like, this is awful. I can't figure it out. I'm all that weightedness of being in the pain. So you figure out for yourself, why am I wanting to stay in the pain instead of allowing the vision to just carry me, right? And pull me to it. There is usually some level of resistance. And that's the other thing that I want to talk about is you have to figure out for yourself, am I in some kind of resistance? And usually when women tell me they're stuck, here's what's going on. You've been so cultured and operating so long in the masculine world of what you should do, and masculine energy of hustle and grind and shovel and make it happen and muscle up, right? That there comes a point where you're just going to resist that. Like we know too much now. We know that it doesn't need to be that way, right? So if you find yourself still in that space and like doing that for a long time, years upon years upon years, you did it in school, you did it in your job, you're like starting your business and going back to that. At some point you'll be like, forget this. I'm done with it. It's too hard. And truthfully, what it is, it shows up as now you don't want to do it anymore. You're resisting it because everything in your feminine being is like, this isn't right. I don't want to do this anymore. And so you call that stuck, but you're really just resisting what's not naturally meant for you, right? So You want to look at that. You want to look at resistance and what you're resisting. And then the other one I want to say is, um, oh, high achievers, this is so you. Not asking for spiritual help. And it goes back into masculine versus feminine energy. You are just trying to do it yourself instead of asking for spiritual help. And that's going to lead to burnout and exhaustion. So I'll say sometimes, like, you're not stuck, you're just exhausted. And that's okay. Recognize it. You've been too long in your masculine energy, hustling and grinding and do it all. And of course, a natural byproduct of that is you're exhausted and you just want to stop and give up. But it doesn't mean you're stuck. It doesn't mean you're stuck, right? So that's why I say you're not really stuck. You don't know what the next right step. It's not that you don't know what the next right step is. It's one of these things, and try to figure out what that is. Looking to your effort to create your result versus your energy is going to get you to a point where at some point you feel stuck. And then the very obvious one, Tasha, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, actually, you know what to do. You're just not doing it. You know what to do. You're just not doing it. It's like my son said last week when I had him on, this is not about fear. This is about courage. You know what to do. You're not stuck. You're just choosing victim. You're choosing that language. You're choosing that identity because you don't want to put on the armor of courage and just go for it. Just do it. Just go for it, right? So it's easier to say I'm stuck or I don't know what to do when you actually do know what to do. You just don't want to do it. I love you. And you know what? I love me because I see myself doing that sometimes too. And I just have to call myself out. So, what's the solution for all this spiritually? I just want to encourage you whenever you find yourself in any of these states, the go-to for me is to really question myself. I'm very big on self-inquiry. I ask myself, why is this happening? Am I in resistance? Am I exhausted? Am I not believing enough? Am I not having courage? Am I not asking for help? Am I not trusting the process? Am I not aligned to my purpose? Do I not, am I still in that masculine energy trying to make it happen and figure it out? And I'm just, like wanting to stop and freeze. This is self-inquiry time where you get to ask yourself spiritually, what's going on? Why am I not aligned to the thing I say I want so that I take action? And at the end of the day, the solution to all of it, right? Whether it's a practical reason, a psychological reason, a strategic reason, or a spiritual reason, action is the medicine for being stuck. You want to be unstoppable? Take continuous action, not like work hard action, but take continuous. You would be better off taking 2 steps every day of your life than none, right? Or spending 4 years of your life taking none and then getting back in the game and starting to go again. So it really is, it comes down to be unstoppable, you have to figure out why you're saying you're stuck, first of all, and then you just have to take action, even while you're figuring it out. It's okay to take action, to take imperfect action. It's okay. If I could tell you the secret to my success, truthfully, I'm a imperfect action kind of girl. Just get it done. Just keep going. Just take action with courage, right? So I am intending that this conversation sparks some thought and some self-reflection. And now I really want us to look at, where do we go from here? How do we begin to do this work on your own, but also be in the energy of starting to embody an identity, the identity of a woman who is empowered and unstoppable. How do I embody that identity? I want to be her. I don't you're never going to hear me saying I'm stuck for any length of time because I've just so worked on that's not who I am. What you hear me saying all the time is I take inspired action. I'm a girl that acts. I take imperfect action. I take action, right? So that's an identity that I have embodied. And we're going to step into our season of Wealth with Ease in September. But the week before we go into our Wealth with Ease, that's where we do our week, where I teach all of this stuff, really help you to see um, a lot of the neuroscience around creating wealth with ease. We talk about the things that are just keeping you chained and blocked in this old identity that's not serving you and literally preventing you from being wealthy. We're going to talk about deservingness, feminine energy, what inspired action looks like. That's going to be September 9th to the 13th, I believe, that week. But before that, we always go into a season of embodiment. So I want everybody watching, actually, hang on one second. I want everybody watching to type the word embody in the comments. Type the word embody and then check Messenger, because it's going to get you enrolled for our embodiment week. And it's a whole new list of 7 days of things that is all around how can I embody this new identity of a wealthy woman. For me, I love to talk theory, but I feel like when we get into being it, that's when we see the results, right? So I'm going to give you every single day for 7 days some little activity to do that really just helps you step into the embodiment of the wealthy woman that you desire to be. So go ahead and type the word embody. And if you're on Instagram, type it, just send me a DM and we will get you the information so you can be registered. Just send me a DM with the word embody. If you're on Facebook, once you type the word embody, you are going to go to Facebook Messenger and it's going to send you all of the details to get registered so that every single day you get the activity that we're going to do together. All right. Ladies, you're not stuck. It's not true. You're not stuck. Challenge it. Challenge it to the death, right? Because literally it's that serious. It is causing you to not live out fully your purpose for being here. And that is not a life worth living. Well, I love you all. Have a great Monday. Bye, everyone.